if Deku had the Winter Soldier. Well, let's start from the beginning. Deku was born from his mom. His mom and dad didn't like Deku because he had a silver arm, so they mentally and physically abused him and put him down. It's like, you're not our son. You're worthless. You don't even have a quirk, and somehow you got the silver hand. You are a spawn from hell. The Deku's like, what? Well, in his mind, he's like around. Like, he wouldn't give birth. He's like around four now, right? This keeps on going on for 1 year. He decides to leave home. He stays in a shack, right? He stays like in a little shack. Just stays there, right? Stays there. Then it's like, shit. Then he's like, then he's like, he finds a small apartment, not apartment, like found a small place to live. Right, he's been living there for like 1 year now, so he's like 5 now. He's been going around stealing things. He stole from the wrong shop owner, right? Shop owner brings him out to the yard and starts beating the living shite out of him. Like, he's all bloodied, like some of his bones are broken. He's just lying there. A doctor comes out of nowhere, just walking peacefully, comes out of nowhere, and just saves Deku. Like, just brings him up and brings him to their lab. Then Deku's like, oh, thank you. Then Deku's like still conscious, but like unconscious at the same time. Like, you know that like your body says that you're asleep but you're awake at the same time. Like, your body like shuts his eyes, but you know that you're still awake and you can hear things, right? Then the doctor's like, oh, we should quickly get to my lab. Then he says, I hope this serum works on the kid. He's nearly on death's door. He's nearly on death's door. Then Deku, like, a few hours pass by. Like, the nigga walks up, like, straight up, like, just wakes up, like, just wakes up out of, like, wakes up. Then he's like, where am I? I thought I was in the alleyway. But in his head, he knows that he's in the lab. He just wants to say that so he can trick the scientist, because he can sense him. He's looking around, right? Then the scientist comes out of nowhere and is like, yes, I fucking knew he was behind there. In his head, right, he'll say that. But then in his mouth, when he said, like, oh, are you the person that saved me? And he's like, yes, I am, kid. Yes, I am, child. Do you feel anything weird? Then Deku's like, no, I actually feel like 100 times better. Like, I can't explain it. Like, it's all like, all my physical abilities just enhanced. Like, my physical abilities just like, whooped, like, skyrocketed. And then the person's like, yeah, of course they've skyrocketed. And it's like Deku's like, I didn't know that. And he's like, then the scientist is like, well, I gave you a serum. It was basically the super soldier serum. It was supposed to be used on an American soldier, but I took it instead and bring it to Japan. I'm clearly wanted now, but no one knows that I moved to Japan, so they're searching around America right now, trying to find it. But then I used it on you, but we didn't know if it was gonna work, because we used it on other people back in America, and all of them died taking it. It's like, I'm impressed that you could handle it. Then Deku's like, of course I can handle it. I've handled much worse things than death. Then he's like, the scientist is like, explain. And Deku tells him tells him how his parents abandoned him because he got a silver arm. And then he left home like around 5. Then in like a really really pissed off face, the doctor's like, why would they leave a 5-year-old to defend for themselves? Are they stupid? Or are they fucking stupid? And Deku's like, nah, it's all good now. It's all good. I learned some skills, and I'm actually kind of grateful that that I walked out on them. Then it's like, no. You're gonna be staying with me now. And Deku's like, nah, mate. Like, nah, I don't want to cramp your style. Like, I don't want to really want to, like, be a mouth to feed. But then it looks as if, no, I actually wanted a son. Yeah. It's like, I actually wanted a son. And then it's like, okay. But I'm not gonna call you any father or that shit, alright? So just keep it low key, bruv. I ain't that warm of a guy. Then he's like, okay. Then he's like, doctor, can you like find out anything about my arm? And he's like, well, I tried looking into it when you were asleep, and it's like, your arm is really weird, like super weird, like nigga could be from outer space and no one knows shitty weird. Like your arm is made out of like a really strong metal, like the strongest metal in the fucking world, like never unbreaking, right? And it can keep any power in. Like if you touch me right now, you have my quirk, right? You can use it, no backlash, no nothing. You can just easily use it. But you can't use two. You can't use 3 quirks at the time. You can use 2, combine those quirks, but you can't add another quirk in while where they're combined. It's like then Deku's like, oh, that's cool. And it's like, I never had a quirk before. And then Deku's like, really? Like, oh yeah. Then Deku's like, yeah, I was born quirkless. That's why my parents didn't love me, and kicked me out because of my arm. It's like, but didn't your parents go to the doctors and check that? It's like, no, they thought I was a disappointment. I was a disappointment to them, so they never even bothered to check me out. Then the doctor said, okay, I will give you, I'll give your quirk name, the Winter Soldier. And he's like, why the Winter Soldier? Because the serum was meant for soldiers. Then like it was like in the really cold part of America, and so I got the name for the Winter Soldier. Then Dick was like, okay, you saved me, why would I disagree? So then Dick was like really like enjoying himself, right? He's never felt like this beside anyone else except him, right? Then he's like, then the doctor's like, in a serious tone, he's like, do you feel any side effects? Then Dick is like, wait, what do you mean side effects? Like, I thought this was perfectly safe. Then the doctor's like, I never said that. Then Dick is like, oh shit, is this thing gonna kill me? Then he's like, no, it's not gonna kill you. It's just gonna, like, change your, like, DNA a little bit. Change it a little bit. Like, it has no limitations now. You can, like, go as hard as and powerful as possible, and you can still learn from that. You can, like, your body can still develop. Then it's like, but there's supposed to be, like, a side effect. Then Dick was like, there's a bit of sharp pain going through my head. It's like, I can see when I touch people, I can see their future. Then I can see the person's past. So I can see people's emotions and how they act, and like if they're friendly or hostile, right? And then it's like, well, I could sometimes control the elements. It's like the doctor's like, wait, what? Wait, you have all that? are you sure you're not quirkless? Then it's like, yeah, I am quirkless, but then I think just serum did that to me. But then it's like, no, it can only enhance your body. It doesn't do all that. Then that means your arm must have done something to it, to the serum. And it's like, okay. It's like, you are a very, very powerful boy, Midoriya. You're like the most, like, I bet you could be number one in like 2 weeks, max, right? Then Deku's like, nah, All Might's number one. And it's like, oh, then Jux is like, goes from a happy tone to a very, like, disgusted tone. It's like, All Might. He's like, Deku's like, what's wrong? Do you hate All Might? Then the Jux says, no, hate. Like, I knew All Might when he was, like, in his prime. He used some of my gadgets, then he forgot about me. He left me. Then Deku's like, oh, that is so bad. But then the doctor's like, no, don't just, like, don't stop me from you hanging out with All Might. And then Izuku's like, oh, okay. Then like, Izuku goes to bed because he's like really tired right now. Like, kind of like me. He's like super tired right now. Then out of, like, he goes to bed, right? Next morning, he's like, his stepdad, let's like just say his stepdad or a replacement dad, legit enrolled him to a school where Bakugou was going, right? Then it's like, oh, do I have to go to school? And it's like, but I'm pretty intelligent. I know the squirrel of pi. I know the missing note from a song. I know how to solve the most impossible equations. Then, like, the doctor's like, okay, but I want you to go out there, not to learn. I know you know everything, not to learn, but just to make friends. Then it's like, okay, right? He goes in there. Teacher's like, oh, we have a new transfer student. His name is, can you please say your name? He's like, my name is Izuku Midoriya. Like, in a really toned voice, like a really depressed tone, but like powerful voice that people would gladly cheer or be afraid of, right? Then Deku has this feeling that this guy's gonna dethrone him, right? And he's like, if you still wait for me, we won't have beef. I don't have to pull them hands. I don't have to, like, karate chop you and put you in the garbage bin. No, we can just take this slow and easy and just move our separate ways. But then what's this? Bakugou. Because I don't know, he's like, what you cook? Oh. In like a really mean and aggressive way, then Deku's like, what do you care? Why do you care? You're not my mom. You're not my dad. Like, why do you care? It's like, cause I run this school. And Deku's like, I don't care. I don't care if you run the school or not. I don't care if you run the school or not. If you mess with me, you're getting dropped. You're getting put down. No, like, about the killing way. Like, you're getting put down. Your henchman will be laughing at you. It's like, then Deku's like, then Kashan's like, ooh, I have to leave this guy alone for like a bit. Then Kashan gets this false, what's it called? You know, like, false assurance, like false power, right? He's like, this guy doesn't look tough. I got like a really cool quirk. I could blast people. And then Bakugou starts doing like little things so enjoyable. Like, maybe like putting water over his books. Then Deku's like, I'll give you 3 warnings. Then he does it again. But this time, like, setting like fire to his his journals that he's writing about heroes. Then when he was about to like add thing to his hair, like explosion to his hair, Deku just turns around like 360. Notice 180 turns around, right? Grabs Bakugou's hand, pulls him up. You makes a air spear, then Rashangan's him in the fucking stomach. My G go flying up, right? Everyone is just waiting for him to come back down. He gets back down. He's like badly injured. Not badly crippled or he's just injured in general. Alright, then Bakugou being a bitch and tells his henchman to go get the teacher. Then Deku's like, I'm sorry, but I ain't into those shit. And just dips. Teacher comes in like, what happened, Bakugou? It's like, Midoriya attacked me for no reason. But Izuku doesn't know. No, Izuku. Bakugou doesn't know. But what Bakugou doesn't know is like, someone been recording this, right? He comes in the next day, he's like, Izuku, Midoriya, or Bakugou, whatever his fucking last name is. Come to the office, please. And he's like, I heard that from a teacher that you attacked Bakugou. Then Deku's like, yes, I did, but it was for self-defense. And the principal's like, no, you can't do that. And it's like, then Deku's like, no, it was for self-defense. And he's like, what do you mean self-defense? Like, my G be messing up my work, spilling water on my things, exploding my things up, and he was trying to he was trying to make fire on my hair. Then I grabbed his arm, made a spear, then just put it up to his chest, and he went flying up. Then he came crashing down. Then he's like, is this true, Bakugou? Is this true, Bakugou, that you've been annoying him? And he gave you 3 warnings, and Bakugou's like, no. Then Izuku's like, you idiot, you fucking idiot. And Bakugou's like, what do you mean, you fucking villain? Then Deku's like, well, I was recording the whole thing. When Bakugou heard those words, I was recording the whole thing. His heart sank. His heart freaking dropped. And that's where I'm ending it.